metaphors, the metaphor starts to fall apart. So that's kind of where we're at. Um, Jeff, can't we just listen to the silence? I haven't dedicated any shows to them, but maybe I will. Basically admit that the possibility. But there are YouTube. I think you can probably find some YouTube channels that are more into that, Russ. I think you can do the ASMR ones where you just listen to somebody eat a bag of chips or something like that. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Final thoughts on this one. This was one that I wanted to do. This is sort of a pet project of mine because I thought that this one got into how bad Darth's metaphors are about the actual theological implications of his religion, and his last conversation with Hogties is a textbook example of where he goes wrong in trying to use what he thinks is some kind of bulletproof logical thinking on somebody when all he's doing is constantly shifting the burden. And shifting the parameters of the discussion, often implicitly and without warning, and then accusing the other person of being a liar when they don't keep up with all the little subtle key changes he's doing throughout his little song and dance routine. And to address an issue that came up before, because somebody was asking about it. So the House of Comments, I think was his name. So I don't usually block people on here, but something about that really pissed me off. I do not like that kind of winking, ironic fascism kind of stuff. And I know somebody had pointed out, well, Vosh and users like Vosh and Hassan Abi and a few other people have tried to reclaim some of this kind of iconography for the left. They may have. That wasn't entirely the reason. So if it makes it sound like I'm just going to like a zero tolerance, kind of person when it comes to any kind of jokes or something like that might be out of bounds. That's not entirely it. But given the shit that's been going on with sort of the Roe v. Wade and listening to some of these other sources that I've been hearing with this sort of like radical Christian fascists dancing around the war fire because they're finally they think that Roe v. Wade is, if it gets removed, then now abortion is illegal. That's actually not the case. But it does make it easier for them on the local level to make abortion illegal. In some states, it's going to automatically happen just because of the way the law works. They had state laws on file that way. What I'm getting kind of what I'm losing my tolerance of is this notion that a lot of these people who are coming from things like this kind of winking alt-right bullshit where they're not fascist, they're reactionary, or they're bitching about liberalism, and they're conflating an old term of liberalism, which can actually be kind of cozy with fascism, with the kind of current liberalism or social liberalism that happens kind of in the United States, which is just tolerance for the LGBTQ community, and maybe they believe in social welfare systems. And they're sort of conflating and melding a lot of these terms. And all I'm seeing is an increase in the boldening of the 33 to 38% of the American population that wants to see America get quote unquote great again, or some equivalent of that, by reducing people's freedoms, but not Americans' freedoms. Americans are going to be fine. It's those not real Americans that are going to get it. And by not real Americans, I think we all know what they mean by that. And that bothers the shit out of me, because what we end up having is these little slogans and these little messages that they just keep pumping out, and they do it on social media most of all. They've got a decent spot in social media to do this kind of stuff, and it's this sort of jaded, cynical bullshit that is just a signal to their own that what they're looking for is a society that really doesn't care about anything.